Hi there, I'm Budda and you're watching Dr. Guitar, a show for all you guitarists out there. In today's episode, I bring you my super small stereo rig built up with two Fender Pro Juniors. Limited edition, it's the Pro Junior 4, and the limited edition on one of them, on the black one, is just the finishing. On the red one, it has a greenback 10-inch speaker. A while back, I compared the two amps and told you I was thinking about building a stereo rig. I did it, I tried it live, and I'm really liking it because it's super portable, it's not bassy at all, and it sounds huge when in stereo. So I'm showing you my small pedal board, what I call my fly rig pedal board, because it's the pedal board I take whenever I go to play abroad or whenever I have to take an airplane to travel to the gig, or whenever it's like a super fast change between sets, like if we play in a festival and I have to take my pedals off and on really fast. The rig is built around the HX effects. I really love Line 6 effects. I love this HX a lot. So I have the DS Custom Octanaut, which is just the octave of an octave fuzz. I love this pedal. I have been using this for long. Then I have the Lovepedal Pickle Vibe, just because it's small and it sounds good. I would prefer to have my Jam Pedals Retro Vibe, but it doesn't fit this board. I have a Memory Lane Almedina fuzz, which is becoming my favorite fuzz face right now. I have the Box of Rock, which is a great pedal to get like when I get rental amps and I have to tailor the sound of the amp. I can leave the dirty sound always on. I can clean it up with my volume and it can be always on. Or in the case of the Pro Juniors, I use it as the drive because the Pro Juniors are already compressing a little. Then it has a clean boost side, which allows me to get a cleaner boost, a clean boost, so a jump in volume if I want to solo. And all the rest is taken care by the HX effects. Let me show you the rig, no effects on. So basically I'm bypassing the HX effects. By pressing down, mode and tap, it bypasses the HX effects. Here it is. Just the two Pro Juniors. So it sounds compressed, clean, a little aggressive, but not distorting. If I use the Box of Rock dirty side, which is not even a boost in volume, not a lot of gain. So to me, it always makes it sound smoother, a little more compressed. Really great reaction to the clean on the guitar. I have my basic overdrive covered up, especially the rhythm. But let me show you, let me go to the HX effects. I have an always on slapback just on that side, just on the red Pro Junior. So that is my kind of wet amp, or at least a wetter amp. Hear it. Hear it without it. With it. It's my always on slap back. I learned this trick with Octanaut. He always uses a slapback, and I love it.
And then from there, it's going to this. That's just a regular delay. No, actually, sorry. It's going to here. That's a DD7 Boss digital delay. That is a slap delay, and that's on all the time. On all my boards, I have I don't use reverb, so the slap delay is on all the time. So it's a DD7. I really like that a lot. So that's on all the time.
And when I use it in stereo, I have a clean amp, no delay amp at all, and a delay amp. So it's even more stereo to me, especially if I'm staying in the middle of the amps. And for my audience, it's also great because my sound engineer puts it on the left and right speaker, so it fills up a huge space. You'll see it with stereo effects clearly. The way I use my Nags or my Strats, but usually I use my Nags guitars, I use my rhythm tone with the middle pickup and the neck pickup together, which makes a little less mid-rangey tone. When I want a solo, I just move either to the neck or to the bridge, and I'll get more bite. Watch my right hand. Instead of both. Bridge. So immediately with the guitar and a good overdrive pedal, and the Box of Rock is really incredible on single coils, I have immediately 3 nuances, like the bridge is really bitey, the neck is more mid-rangey, and the neck and middle is really scoopier and great, almost clean if you play quietly. Then I have my Fuzz, my memory lane, Almedina Fuzz. Super cool. Pickle Vibe. I love it with Fuzz. It's a really cool pedal. The Octanaut, I've showed it a million times in this show, but I love this pedal. It's made in Germany by the great guys at DS Custom Electronics, and it's unbelievable. I love it. It produces a high octave, but when you play 2 notes together, it gets really confused, and it's almost like a bell or a ring modulator. Great with Univibe. That's basically it. And if I have my box of rock, I have the boost, which has a volume. The left knob is the volume for the boost. It's a clean boost. But since these amps are low-powered amps, and that's why I love it, they compress and they are already distorting. So when you push just the boost to the amps, it makes them sound a little fatter. Listen, no pedals. Boost. And sometimes this is enough for me to stand out in the mix and to get to hear myself better or to kick in for a solo. It's a great thing. I always have my slap delay on, and I programmed the HX effects to be on pedal mode, so I don't have presets per se, but I have kind of presets. So I have the slap wet option here. Is basically, it's a slap when it's off. When it's on, I programmed it to turn off the slap and turn on a stereo delay, mimicking the Memory Man. So it's a delay for each side. So it's a quarter note and a dotted 8 note. This is the sound. But it also has a huge reverb, because it's my ambient sound. So for stuff like But, for example, we have a song called So Long where I use it with a slow Leslie. So let me show you the Leslie. I programmed my Leslie to not only I engage a Leslie when I turn it on, I also engage an EQ pedal, a graphic EQ, to tame the low end. So I have the fast Leslie here. And I have a knob, I preset foot switch number 6 to change the speed of the Leslie. With this Leslie, I can ramp it up or ramp it down, which means I can, when I press the switch, it doesn't go immediately to the fast speed. It goes gradually, which makes it feel like a lot more like a regular Leslie. And this is how I think of George Harrison and Eric Clapton Wonderful Tonight song. They use the slow Leslie, which makes it be kind of a chorus, but not really, because it's, and in a stereo rig, it's really stereo. You feel it like going warbly like this. So for example, for the song So Long, I use the plate reverb with a huge delay reverb, stereo reverb, and the slow Leslie. for my solo, I can't have the delay on because it's really messy. This is the solo, so if I have it here. But I need the big reverb. So what I came up with is this control knob, I think it's how it's called, by Electronics. It's a very inexpensive pedal. And basically what it does, it has two settings, two knobs, and you change from one setting to the other. So it's basically an expression pedal, but instead of being continuous like a volume or an expression pedal, you just preset, or you set each knob, each side, knob A, knob B, to be a setting. Like full on would be like this. So this would be like turned full on, and this would be this is turned completely off. So when we press here, it changes the presets from one to the other. It's like having two knobs. So listen. And I programmed the HX effects to, on an expression pedal, being controlled the mix and the feedback. So I have way less mix and way less feedback. And then when I turn the expression all the way up, it's a lot more feedback and a lot more mix. So turning it on again. So what I just did is, it was too wet for me with this setup. So I tailored the Expression 2 knob to get the amount of delay I want at max, and then to cut it all off at minimum. And I have more possibilities because I only have 6 available switches. So this is how I did it. And then the other two effects are, well, I forgot to mention the hot spring, which is a spring reverb going only to that side, the red Pro Junior. For my out of phase tone, I get a script fuzz, which is basically the custom shop fuzz by MXR phase 90, and I like it for my Albert King tone. So out of phase, neck and bridge, pickup out of phase with each other, and or just with a slapback. It's a really cool effect without it. with it. It's the Albert King flavor. Then I have the tremolo, regular optical tremolo. With a spring reverb. And this is my stereo rig. Really simple. Why do I love this Pro Juniors for? Because they have a continuous volume. I have the Pro Junior, an American one, that sounds great, but it turns on 3 or 3.5, so you can't make it quieter and have it full range. If you turn it louder than that, it will just become thin until it reaches that point, but then it jumps a lot and it's a huge jump in volume, which makes it not easy to use in a stereo amp setup, because sometimes you just need an increment on the left to balance it with the right, or you need to quiet the amps down a little. And with my old Pro Junior, you don't get that, because it won't get quieter than a certain amount. This 2 amps sound really great at any volume, and they break up if you want them to break up. But together, 15 watts together in 2 separate power amps, it's way louder than 30 watts seem to be. So it's a really good spread, it's a really good stereo rig. And I did a little trick. I put a piece of wood on the back of them, and that allows me to tilt the amps towards my ears and moving them against off the ears of the audience. So if they're staying like this, if you're the audience sitting down, and I play a lot in theaters and amphitheaters, so the audience is usually with their heads at the stage level. So if they're at the stage level, the amps are like this, playing directly to their ears and to their faces. If I tilt the amps up, it moves it this direction, so they will only hear the reflection of the amps in the room and not the direct sound. Also, the farther you are away from the amp, the less bass you hear from the amp. So that means it gets harsher and harsher the more you move away from it. So if the audience is staying a few meters back and my amps are facing them, they are only listening to the super high treble of my amp. That's not the sound I'm listening to, and that's not how I calibrated the amps to sound good. So they're sounding good. If they're here, they're pushing here, my ears are on top. So I'm not listening to that beam. If I push it up, I'm also not listening directly, because they're hitting the back of my head and the back of my ears, so it's not direct treble, but it's way clearer and I can play quieter too. And with this kind of lag on the back, you can tilt it in different angles. I'm tilting them a lot like monitors, but I could tilt them less than that. It's a really cool mod and really inexpensive. Just a piece of wood and a hardware piece so you can fold it. And that's it, my friends. I hope you liked the episode. I hope you liked the show. If you're liking what I'm doing here and you haven't done it yet, please consider to subscribe and to leave the thumbs up. I know it's a shitty request to do. Everyone on YouTube does it, but it's for a reason. It's because YouTube will suggest the video to more people, and we'll try to make a little more out of YouTube. So it helps a lot contributing and supporting what I'm doing here. And it's also really pleasing to have more people subscribing. It makes me feel useful, and it tells me that you like this channel, so I should keep on doing it. If you want to support me even more, please consider becoming a patron, and you'll be supporting me on a monthly basis, which is great. And I have to thank my dear patrons who do that for a big long time. I thank you so much. You guys are incredible. I always think about you when I finish the episode. I know I say this, but it's really mind-blowing. Put yourself in my position. If you had someone supporting you because of you doing what you love, it's really rewarding. So thank you so much. It really means a lot. And it goes from a little amount of money to a little more on the support. I also opened up for YouTube membership, so you can join in and you'll have exclusive access to some stuff. You have early access to episodes and some lessons I throw in every month. The same in Patreon. So it's just a matter of what you prefer, YouTube or Patreon. And I'm also opening some spots for guitar lessons via Skype. So if you're interested, just send me an email or hit me on Instagram or Facebook, and we'll deal with it from there. Thank you so much. We'll see each other next week. Bye-bye.